One of the reasons why you are not successful in business is because of this, the game. See, you can be the most talented YouTuber, photographer, videographer, graphic designer, coach, author, you name it. You can be the most talented basketball player in your neighborhood. But in order for you to join the big boys, the NBA, you need to understand how the game is played. See, in order for you to understand or learn the rules of the game, you need somebody that has played there before. Somebody that has learned and mastered the rules of the game to teach you that. And once you learn that, you will be able to be drafted. And here's what happens. After you're drafted, you will get a coach that's gonna keep your amazing talent in check. See, you cannot just get on the field and do whatever you wanna do. Here's the sad reality. Talent alone is not enough for you to be successful in business. Having all the amazing equipment that you need to get the job done is still not enough for you to be successful. Now, when I say successful, I mean being able to consistently land premium clients. That's why I decided to create Content Creators University. Who am I? My name is JP Hightek. I am a global branding expert. I am also the founder and CEO of a media agency called Perfect Zone Productions. As a matter of fact, you are in one of my studios right now.
It's Tanya Smith here of Get Noticed with Video and Stream Like a Boss TV.
Hey everybody, my name is Michelle Singh. I'm from Miami, Florida, and I have an educational consulting firm.
Hey you guys, James Hicks here from Hicks New Media.
JP has an incredible presence. You know, when I go and I look people up and try to find out more about them, everything was stellar. Anything that you could find about JP showed that he was an upstanding gentleman, that he delivered amazing and beautiful visual presence, that he tells the truth and he is authentic and genuine, and all of those things made me say yes, absolutely.
I just worked with JP Hightek from Perfect Zone Productions, and we spent the entire day together doing photos and video shoots for my rebranding of my company. And when I tell you the entire experience was amazing, it was amazing.
Right, I had the privilege of working with JP on some brand and media assets that I wanted worked on within my studio, and everything from the initial conversation to the planning discussions to the constructive feedback and criticism that I was given from him was absolutely spot on.
I was all on it because I believed in him and I could see what he was capable of doing through the lens of others who have been on the internet that have been impacted by him and his truth. So I actually became a client of JP because he gave me truth. He said, you know what, I like your live stream. I enjoy the content. But the presence, what you're putting out there in terms of the professionalism of your live stream needs to match the level of the excellence of content that you're delivering. And when he said this, I paused for a minute and I thought, he's so right. So what did I do? I asked, can you help me? Can you and your team help me? And JP and his team created the most beautiful graphics. They were perfectly branded for me, for what I wanted to do with Stream Like a Boss. I find myself using them consistently and regularly in almost every live stream show that I do, and I often get compliments and people DMing and asking, who did your graphics? Who put that together?
This is me before JP.
And this is me after JP. Do I look awesome or what? I finally have correct colors. I'm human. Yes, I am human. I have the correct colors in the background, my regular purples that I can see with them. You know, I can see the purples. I can see the purples. So I'm really happy, JP, for you putting this together for me, this custom LUT. It took about 48 hours and it was really amazing customer service. So go ahead and get yours. This is Dr. Elo out.
And I thank him, I thank his team for what they've provided me. I definitely look forward to working more and closely with them in the future as my needs evolve. So I really just wanted to tell folks, if you're looking for someone to help you design, build either your website, media kit, some type of branding materials, definitely check out my man JP Hightek and his team. Appreciate you, man.
So if you're looking for photos, rebranding, video, commercials, anything I guess related to that media aspect and branding aspect of your company, I highly recommend Perfect Zone Productions. Not only did they provide the environment and the space for me to get the images and the videos that I needed done, but everything even down to the outfits and even down to the makeup was a part of the experience. And so if you're looking for somebody to just do it all for you and your company, as far as branding, Perfect Zone Productions, JP Hightek, that's who you need to contact.
We have the talent already. We have the motivation already. We have maybe the equipment that we need already. What else is there? Come and learn with me. Let me teach you the rules, the things that I had to learn to take my business to 6 figures. The day my company made $100,000, I understood how to apply those things. And once you learn how to apply those rules, you can 10x that. Now I'm able to take my podcast, Content Creators University, and I was able to land so many clients that last year, in a matter of 4 to 5 months, I was able to make the same 6 figures. You can do the same thing too. This is not rocket science. You just need to learn. Now, I'm gonna be real with you. This takes a lot of work. Nobody's gonna do it for you. You must be willing to do the job. See, here's the deal. Entrepreneurship means that you are willing to be working when everybody else is asleep. You're willing to put in 60, 70, 80 hours a week. Today, now is the time to put in the hard work. Work like none other so that later you can leave like none other. So if you're willing to put in the work, if you're willing to learn and apply, if you're willing to go through the courses, master classes, conference replays, materials, and everything that me and my team are about to give you in this private community, well, come join me. You have 2 options. You have the free option and you have the gold option. The gold is paid. Free is free. Regardless of which one you have, you will get major value. Because there will be some things that you will not see anywhere. You're not gonna find it on YouTube, Facebook, anywhere else, but on this platform. So what I want you to do is go ahead and sign up today for free or join the Gold membership and let's grow together. One thing that I always say is that the day you stop learning, you stop growing. So I'm looking for you to join so together we can learn, we can grow, and we can impact the world. Every day is another opportunity. See you soon.
Look, this is a man who is going to give you the honest truth, but not only that, he has just a wealth of knowledge and experience in the branding, digital marketing, media, visual entertainment space. There's no one that I would recommend more highly than him to be someone that partners with you to upscale your brand and to make sure that you show up in the stellar way that you want to show up, and even beyond what you can think of, because he has a vision. He can see what could be, and that's what I have appreciated so much, is the possibilities that he has opened up and expanded my thinking to really embrace.
JP, like your production is amazing. I love your show. And I'm just so happy that finally able to make this happen and be on your show. And like, I wish you the very, very best, man. All the best. You're gonna have an amazing 2022.
I am impressed. Having a little bit of envy with your production. So well put together, and I love the value that you're delivering, the questions that you focus on, and I know that you are just trying to get amazing content out to people who
Hey family, guess what? The Content Creators University is a show that airs every single week, but I want to connect with you. I want you to go ahead and download my mobile application. If you have an iPhone, go ahead and download my app called JP Hightek TV right now onto your phone. If you have a TV, a smart TV, my app is also available on your Roku TV, right? Go ahead and download JP Hightek TV on your Roku TV or your Amazon Fire TV right now, and let's connect together, right? I want you to grow with me. I want us to grow together. If you love podcasts, I'm also happy to tell you that the Content Creators University is available syndicated across every podcast platform. Apple Podcasts, Audible, Google Podcasts, you name it, we are there. Spotify and all of that. Go ahead and download it, listen to it, and do me a favor. If you appreciate what we're doing, go ahead and put it in the comment section. Leave me a review on any of those podcast platform or mobile application platform. Let me know if any of the hard work that we're putting into this community, this broadcast, this podcast is helping you. If you appreciate all the amazing guests that we're bringing onto the platform to share their expertise with you. This is a lot of work, family, and I'm doing all this in order for you to be able to grow your business the right way, leveraging content creation. Thanks so much, and if you appreciate what we do, go ahead as well subscribe to the YouTube channel JP Hightek Reviews. Follow me personally if you want to, connect with me on all social media, and the handle is @JP Hightek. I love connecting. Like I always say, network is the new currency. So I want to see you online. I want to connect with you, and I want to hear from you. Let's grow together. Be safe, like I always say. See you next time. Shalom. Peace.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Content Creators University. Very, very excited every time we're here because, we have amazing guests lined up every single week. I'm telling you, this season 4 is lit, family. It is on fire. If you're watching it right now, you will see amazing folks that are on the calendar, and one of those are Toi Sweeney. We have her backstage today. Boy, you're in for a treat. So get ready, grab your popcorn and everything, because this show is about to teach you some things that you didn't know was important when it came down to your brand image, right? You guys know I'm a global branding expert, and when we're talking about that, these are the stuff that will allow you to actually impact the world and really transform your business, right? Those things are important. And we're about to dive into it today. So get ready, and I want you to do one thing. That's my guest right there, Toi. Hey, we're going to bring you back onto the stage in just a minute. So I just want to show you guys, she's backstage, right? She's really there, right? It's not Photoshopped or anything. She's really here. I'm so excited to bring you her. But folks, if you're new, allow me to introduce myself. My name is JP Hightek. I am a global branding and media expert. So what I do is help small businesses, corporations, and entrepreneurs build a premium brand by leveraging live video, photography, graphic design, web design, software development, right? And I do that through my company, my media agency, which is called Perfect Zone Productions. And so that's what we do. And we help you really make that impact and elevate the things that you do and have a better value proposition. That's what actually is going to allow you to charge more for your product and services. So if that's something you're looking for, well, connect with me. JPHightek.com is the place to go if you're listening to the podcast, JPHightek.com. Now, if you're new, of course, there's one thing that we do here is that we have the news. We always share the news, what's happening in the Content Creators University. And of course, we want to give a shout out to all of our sponsors. So we're about to, dive into that because this show is listener and sponsor supported. So without further ado, let's dive into it, right? Don't go anywhere. Stay with me. We'll be right back. Content Creators University presents Creators Unleashed Act 2. A 2-day power-packed free virtual conference to teach you all the secrets to growing your business with content creation. This is for coaches, teachers, students, leaders, entrepreneurs, videographers, graphic designers, YouTubers, podcasters, beauty professionals, bloggers, social media strategists, artists, music composers, authors, anybody that uses technology today needs to show up to this event. This is taking place November 17th and 18th from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Grab your free ticket today by going to contentcreatorsuniversity.com/conference. Seats are filling up fast. It's first come, first served with 10 power-packed speakers. JP Hightek, Tanya Smith, Kirk Nugent, Toi Sweeney, Monty Weaver, Carissa Jennings, Troy Sandage, Pierre Quinn, Jeff Barch, Jermaine Freeman, Creators Unleashed Act 2, in partnership with our official sponsor, Ecamm Live. You do not want to miss this. This will be fire. Fire indeed. Let's go ahead and talk about the news. Content Creators University is bringing you Creators Unleashed Act 2, the second edition of this conference, taking place November 8th, 17th, and 18th from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Family, you want to go ahead and register, right? This is a free conference. However, seats are limited. It's first come, first serve. And so that means once we've reached the capacity, we're going to close it. Yes, you heard me right. And people are subscribing. So go ahead and grab your free seat today. All you have to do is go to the website, contentcreatorsuniversity.com/conference. And really the things that we're about to dive into during this conference is give you all the tools in order to for you to make money with your content, right? If you use technology, you want to be there because literally technology governs everything we do today. And you want to learn the best way to leverage that technology and what approach should you have to it, right? How can you have technology work for you versus you working for it, right? And the topics that we're about to dive into is the power of content marketing strategy, right? You need to have a strategy, and how can you develop a proper strategy to have an impact? The power of building a successful community to grow your business, right? Creating a business with your content. You need to have that type of mindset, and how can you implement it so that you actually make the money you want to make, right? How to position yourself as an expert in your field. The fact that you're talking about something, you're a coach, you're an author, and all of that doesn't mean people are going to respect you and take you as an expert. There's a way to position yourself. We're about to teach you that during this conference, right? Knowing your worth as an influencer, knowing and charging your worth is something that is important to understand, and we're about to teach you that as well during this conference. Making money with a premium brand. First of all, how do you build a premium brand? What does a premium brand mean? And how can you make money with it? Well, register UC, and how to grow your business with your story, right? It's not every aspect of your story that you should be telling people, or you should be posting on social media, right? So what are the right things to do? What are the do's and the do nots, right? Well, I want you to be there and see your brand image matters. Why does it matter? Well, we're about to talk a little bit about it today, but we will dive into that in depth during the conference, because once you have the proper brand image, then you'll be speaking to your target audience, and you'll create an emotion with them, and they will resonate with the things you're doing. And guess what? That converts clients, right? So you want to be there. Very, very excited about that, and ways to overcome failure mindset as an entrepreneur. We all go through that. How can you overcome that in order to keep winning? Because it's all about your mindset. Once you fail, once you believe in your head that you cannot achieve it, trust me, you've already failed. So again, the Content Creators University is bringing you this conference, and go to contentcreatorsuniversity.com/conference in order to register for free today. Now, big shout out to our sponsor, which is allowing us to make this available to you guys, and that is Ecamm Live. And so talking about Ecamm, if you didn't know, Ecamm is what I'm personally using right now as my encoder to broadcast this show out to the world, right? So Ecamm is the leading, right, encoder, live streaming, and video platform for Mac, period. Because simply just allows you to do things from the basic level all the way to TV production level. So for the folks that listen to the podcast, if you want to see what it looks like, jump on YouTube, come to JP Hightek Reviews, or go to any of my applications and see what it looks like. It just allows you to do so much. So what you want to do is go ahead and get yourself a free 15-day trial simply by going to bit.ly/eCam live free. bit.ly/eCam. eCam is 2M. So ECAMM live free. Get yourself 15-day free trial. Check it out. No strings attached, family. So, like I was talking about, Content Creators University, we have our community, family. Yes, our own private community, like-minded people. And what we're doing there is growing together, right? We're learning together, growing together, and doing things that nobody else knows, right? You got to be in certain rooms in order to be part of certain conversations. So if you're a creator, if you're somebody that really want to level up the things you're doing, leveraging content creation and technology, we have our own private community. You can join today for free by going to contentcreatorsuniversity.com. Again, the website is contentcreatorsuniversity.com. Now, we spend a lot of time online. I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, ExpressVPN, that is giving only the viewers and followers of JP Hightek and Content Creators University free 3-month. Again, this is for your VPN. All you have to do is go to expressvpn.com/JP Hightek. And you can go ahead and get yourself 3 months free. Yeah, that's amazing. Virtual private network to allow you to protect your investment and also be safe, safeguard your things, and so that you're not exposed to any hack or any leak to the web. Very, very important. Again, ExpressVPN. Express is expressvpn.com/JP Hightek, HIGHTEK. Go ahead and get yourself that. Now, for the folks that are like, JP, I'm watching your show on Roku, man, every week. Shout out to the folks that are watching my show every week on Roku. I appreciate you guys. If you didn't know, go ahead and download the application right now. The name is JP Hightek TV. But I'm using a solution called RTN Streams, right? RTNstreams.com is the website. If you know how to upload a video to YouTube, then you know how to use this platform. So go ahead and get yourself elevated. Talking about elevation, if you understand the power of being on TV, the power of taking your brand to a platform that is at same level as CNN and any other major network, that's the world today, right? Because for all those major network today is based on personal consumption, where they all have their applications now. People download their TV. Position yourself there and understanding that Roku is the leading TV streaming platform in the world. You should know what I'm talking about. Well, and the traffic to your business, let me leave it at that, family. Go ahead and check out rtnstreams.com is the place to be. That's what I'm using, and I am very, very happy. All right, family, I want to let you guys know, for the folks that are like, JP, I want to connect with you personally. All you have to do is go to my website, which is jphightek.com, jphightek.com. Personally, you can connect with me if you're looking for me to help you elevate the things that you're doing with live video, videography, photography, graphic design, web design, software development, those type of things. Having a strategy of impact for your brand so that you can leverage content creation and truly start making money, and you want to work one-on-one with me, hire me and my team, well, that's the place to go, jphightek.com. I invite you. Go there, book yourself a consultation, and me or a member of my team will connect with you, and we'll see how we can help you level up like we've done for so many other clients, right? So now we're about to bring our guest onto the stage. Now, family, I want you to be ready, because the guest that we're bringing, I call her a big deal. Even though she doesn't like me calling her a big deal, for me, she's a big deal. You know, a big deal for me is somebody that actually has a true value to bring on the table, is a true expert, not self-proclaimed expert, family, a true expert, somebody that put in the work, years and years of work to get to where she's at today. I know I'm not telling you a whole lot, right? Because I want her to say it versus me saying it. But I just want you to be ready, because this is about to be so good in relation to your brand image. Do what we wear actually matter? The colors, the combination? How does that impact our business, our mood, the things that we're trying to achieve, our target audience? All of that in just a minute. Stay with me. Right after this intro, our guest will be on stage. We'll be right back. All right, all right, all right. Hey, welcome to the show. How you doing today, Toy?
I am doing awesome. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. It is
Yes,
about
ma'am.
time that we get to talk shop publicly.
I know, right? I know. There's so much to unpack today. I'm so excited. First of all, I want to take the time and thank you, right, for taking the time to accept not just to be a guest, VIP guest on this show, but also to be a VIP keynote speaker during the Creators Unleashed conference. That's amazing. I mean, you're about to drop so much on us, and folks don't even realize because you get paid the big bucks to talk about those things and give people these secrets. And we're about to get a little glimpse of that today. And I'm very excited. So for the folks that are like, oh, JP, calm down. We don't even know who she is. I was like, really? Let me give you an opportunity to introduce yourself to the folks that are just discovering you for the first time today.
Well, thank you again for having me on the conference as well. I'm so excited. I cannot wait for that. It's like a day I get to hang out with all of my friends. So, as JP said, my name is Toi Sweeney. I am the founder and the CEO of The Well Dressed Brand. I am an author of the book called Secrets of a Well Dressed Brand. I am a TV show host. The television show is called The Well Dressed Brand TV Show. And I am an award-winning fashion stylist. I cut my teeth for many years in the live television space, working at the world's largest shopping home network as a style director. And before that, I worked at companies like Bloomingdale's in New York. I worked at Crabtree and Evelyn, Ralph Lauren, White House Black Market, and a ton of other smaller stores. And I decided to launch my company one day because I started to notice that as I'm working for this huge, multi
Hi, I'm Lenny.
company, that what we wear can really impact the bottom line. And so I took all the things that I learned over the course of, a decade and a half, and I decided to dump all of them into the book, which is The Secrets of a Well-Dressed Brand, which we'll be talking a lot about the things that are in there today, because I left no stone unturned. I wanted to tell you everything that I've learned. And so I'll give you some new stuff today, and then some things that are in the 5th year anniversary book, which I am so excited about, to just start talking to you guys about all the things today. So,
Man, that's about to be amazing. I can't wait for that coming up, man. I can't wait because the book is loaded. Family is loaded with gems for you to understand how to win in the marketplace today. But before we dive into all of that, the new year and greedy, one thing that we do here at the Content Creators University is learn to know our guests a little in a unique way, right? And so the first question I have for you, Toy, is to ask you this: if you were a superhero, who would that be and why?
oh, that's tough because I'm such a huge like Marvel, Star Wars. Okay. So I'm going to say I had low key have an obsession with Yoda. And
Okay, okay.
so he's not pretty to look at, but he is so wise and so calm. And like, I think that he gets underestimated when people don't really, when they don't really know about Yoda. And then it's like not uncommon for him to come in there and like tear some stuff up. And
Right,
so
right.
I would want to, I try to conduct myself like Yoda, right? It is what Yoda says, do or do not, there is no try. So you can't try to do it, you can't think about doing it, you have to do it. So that's why I love Yoda. Yoda's the best.
You can't try.
There is no try. You can't
There's no
say I'm
middle
trying to
ground.
start a business, I'm trying to get these things done, there is no try. Do or do not, there is no try, and I love that.
Wow, that's powerful. Powerful, because I mean we've learned one thing is that when you do things halfway, you get halfway results, right?
Right.
And why would you try to do things halfway and expect a complete result? No, you have to dive in 100% so you can get a live transforming result. That's powerful. And the winners of the world, man, they don't play with the things they do, right? Which is why they can impact the world so greatly. And we'll dive into it now. Another question I have for you is, if you had the power, Toy, to speak to the world, right? one time you can just give the world one advice, what will it be and why?
I would say it would be the sign that I have behind me now, which is be afraid of mediocrity.
Hmm.
Because mediocrity is about going halfway up the mountain, right? It's kind of
Mhm.
even going back to even what Yoda is saying. And so, one of my favorite interviews is an interview with Kobe Bryant, and he's talking, and the question that was asked of him was, "Who would Shaq be?" And we know that Shaq is exceptional. Who would Shaq be if he had your work ethic? And he said he would be the greatest of all times. And when I heard that,
Hmm.
it really killed me because I'm like, wow. And everybody is familiar with Kobe Bryant's work ethic. You know, he was definitely afraid of mediocrity. He was definitely the
Mhm.
one that was, in the on the basketball court at 4 a.m., 3 a.m., all of these different things, whatever it took, he was gonna give it. And so I think that it's so easy for us to become complacent. It's so easy for us to want easy, but easy
Mhm.
doesn't change you. Easy does not change you. And so I would say it would be to be afraid of mediocrity.
Man, whoo, family. I hope you're taking note. I mean, we're just in the preliminaries, right now, and Toy is just dropping it. I mean, fire, Toy. I mean, yeah, that literally will kill you, right? Quote unquote, right?
Right.
Will kill your business, will kill the things you're
Yeah,
trying to achieve. And understanding that when you operate in excellence, you send a specific message, and what you attract comes to you back in excellence. And the
absolutely.
right people that value that are what we call the premium clients, the
Mhm.
corporations, right? The people that really can afford. Because here's the reality: everyone wants premium clients. It's crazy,
Right.
right? We all want premium clients. We all want people that'll pay us top dollar, but are we doing what it takes to actually attract them? Well, I have one final question, fun question for you, and then we're diving into this because I can't wait. And that will be, if you were to speak to Toy when she was 18, what would be the
Oh,
one thing you tell her? And why?
right. I'm like 18. Um, I would just say keep moving forward. Keep moving forward because I'm still the same person that I was at 18. I'm just a little wiser.
Mhm.
And, all of us kind of can't see, the forest for the trees at times in our lives. But, I had such ambition and such high hopes. And I really didn't know the things that I couldn't do at that age. And so I just kind of ran full forward. I worked full time. I went to school full time. I always said yes. I always kind of just leaned into excellence even at that age.
Right.
And that was just a product of having parents that said no all the time and leaving me to, in the best ways, figure things out. So, I just had just I became really scrappy and gritty from that experience. And so I would just say keep moving forward because as I started to get older, I was just like, okay, when is this going to happen? I'm starting to get tired, like
Right.
is it
Right.
going to be? And so and I love that question, JP, because that was right around the time that I was just graduating high school. And my goals at that time was to be a CEO of a fashion company. And my
Whew.
degree is in fashion
Wow.
marketing. So I'm doing exactly what I've always wanted to do. There was no massive or big pivot. I've been doing this really literally all my life, kind of in this space in different jobs, in front
Mhm.
of the camera, behind the camera. I, interned at MTV. I'm telling my age, back in the day, House of Styles.
Right.
Um, so I've always been in television. I've always worked in print. I've always worked in fashion. I've always worked in marketing, from the ground up. So I would just say keep moving forward because everything that you think that you want is going to come to fruition. So
Man, family, I told you she doesn't play. Go get registered right now for this conference because, boy, if this is the freebie, man, I can't wait for the real guns to come out. Now, Toy, your amazing bio, as you share a little bit during the intro, tells us that for over a decade, right? You've worked in TV, television, and you've helped shape images for almost 30 TV personalities. And now you've transitioned, building your own thing and having your own TV show. Do you could you share with us that experience and what did that do for you to shape you to who you are today?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think that, I worked in corporate, as a corporate stylist for so long. And, I was really stuck. There was no upward mobility. Things were just every way that was made, I had to really create something. Even when I got promoted to style director, I had to go behind the scenes and just kind of work my way to get them to create this position for me. It was, a lot of work. I loved it. I got to work with some really exceptional people.
Hmm.
I got to work with almost every designer that you could think of that came through QVC. So many singers, from gospel singers to R&B singers, anybody that was selling a book or a cookbook. So, it was, you leave with this kind of black book, you know,
Right,
that's really
right.
exceptional. But, at that time, I was really stuck and there was nowhere else for me to go. And so I had gone to Italy and we were shooting on location and doing all the things. And one day I looked up and I was like, I've done everything that I came to do here. 16 years later,
Hmm.
there's really nothing else. And so I had gotten booked on my first podcast. I was so excited. And we were just talking about, so many different things about how your image impacts your bottom line. And, really what we were talking about was personal branding and how you get to create the narrative by doing that. And I was sharing some things that I had done, within the organization, and I was still working at the time, but I had just started to get booked on podcasts. And at the end of the podcast, my friend Ryan wrote and said, you should write a book. And I was
Hmm.
like, I think that I will, but and I was like, all right, let's go. And so that was how the Well Dressed brand was born, which led me to the secrets of the Well Dressed brand. But I really started in house working on two massive television shows that were producing millions and millions and millions of dollars, and I was bringing in triple my salary
Hmm.
just on the online portion of the business. And so just by trying things out to see if I infuse this person's personality without telling you that I'm doing that, if you're on the other side of the camera, is that something that you would pick up on? And also, will that encourage you to spend money? And so week after week, year after year, I was seeing that this was really starting to impact the bottom line. And I'm like, okay, if I could make this kind of money for this organization, then what am I going to be able to do on my own? And
Right,
so I
right.
was scared, but I stepped out, I jumped off the cliff. There was no parachute. There was nobody but me and Jesus. And
Hmm.
I just jumped off the cliff and went for it and started the Well Dressed brand. And since then, I have written a bestseller book, selling book. I have been featured on Forbes.com, BBCnews.com. I've been on over 30 podcasts. I've been featured on Hello Giggles. I had a 10-page spread in Where Women's Work magazine. I'm
Man.
from Philadelphia, but I live in New York now. And so I was featured in the Inquirer, a bunch of local papers, a bunch of local TV, Mainline Today, and so it just was the right thing for me to learn to do and to step out on because I really was made for this. I really was.
Well, the book says a lot about it. And talking about the book, which is a
Yes.
bestseller, by the way, family. Talking about the book, right? When people Google it, that's one of the first things we see, right? That you're an author and you have this bestseller, amazing book out there. You know, Secrets of the Well Dressed Brand, the art of increasing your perceived value. Now, I wanted to ask you, what's the true why behind that book, right? Because every author has a true why behind why they released it. And how did that impact you when you see it transforming other people's lives?
I think that I spent so many, not I think, I know, I spent so much time being underestimated, undervalued, working, in corporate, and quite frankly, not being paid nearly enough, not being paid near my worth at all. I mean, I remember one time my boss had gone out on maternity leave, and one of the person that was my supervisor at the time, I remember forget him picking up a calculator and showing one of another, supervisor or manager or whatever, a leader in the company, and saying, "This is all that we're paying her." Like, she's been working 80 hours a week. She's winning awards. She's impacting these businesses in such a massive way, bringing in the company multi, and not just me. Of course, the show host is the front line in the front space, but on the back end, I was a huge support to that. And this is all that we're paying her. And so that prompted a $10,000 raise. But that still was putting me $30,000 behind what the standard was in the industry. And so I was like, man. And so I was really charged with, how do I level up my own perceived value? What are some things that I could start to do? And so as I was working on those things in-house, I was still working on all of, just not really knowing at the time, but planting the seeds for the Well Dressed brand. And so when I started to write the book and really list out what I had learned throughout my career at that time, those were the type of things that I was writing down. Like, hey, I was stuck in my career. These are the things that I started to see that were adding value, and just asking for what you want, making sure that your pricing is correct, making sure that, that your brand image, that you are dressing the way that you want to be addressed. And I'll tell you a quick story about that.
Right.
I remember when I first got the style director role, and this is the first question that I ask my clients is, when you enter a room, what do you want people to think and feel when you enter? And what do you want them to think and feel when you leave? And so, I said for me is that I wanted people to think that I was an authority. I wanted to be listed as an expert, okay, so then and the go-to person. And so, okay, what does that look like? So I was like, okay, I think that I want to be seen as one, like, just chic. That was it. I just want people to think she's chic. Okay, what does that look like? I said, okay, so over the next 6 months, I'm going to only wear black, ivory, navy, and gray. That's it. On casual Fridays, I will not be casual. I will wear jeans on another day, but on that day where everybody, like 5,000 people in the company is wearing jeans, I will not wear jeans that day, right? Because different is better than better. You have to be different. And so I was like, okay, so that was what I was doing. So, and then I would subliminally put the message around. So I wear a little necklace, that said chic on it. I wear a graphic tee with the blazer and jeans that said chic. I wear another graphic tee, that had the word chic on it with the pencil. Like, I was very strategic about my wardrobe. So one day I, go to the bathroom, and our vice president at the time, her name was Claire Watts. She was in the bathroom, come out of the stall. We were washing our hands at the sink. She steps back, JP, and she looks me up and down, and she said, "You always look so chic." And I thought, oh my God. I was like, this works. This works, and I wasn't even really diving into, like, the true meanings of those colors, but now I do. Is that ivory's representing, trying something new. Black is about elegance and authority. The gray is just like, hey, I'm safe, I'm neutral, I'm on your side. All of these kind of things that I was putting out there. And blue really talks about trust. And so I was walking down the hall one day, another coworker stopped me, and she said, "Do you realize that you've become the go-to person in this company, that they're working on this project that you're not even involved in?" And someone raised their hand in the meeting and said, "Did anybody run this by Toi? Did anybody run this by Toi?" And in a company that large, that was saying a lot. you
Mm-hmm.
know, because QVC is a global company. They're in Japan, they're in China, they're, you know, in the UK. I mean,
Oh
they're everywhere.
yes.
They're like, it's
Mm-hmm.
all in Germany, Italy, it's everywhere. And so, you know, for somebody to say something like that about, you know, at that time I would have said little old me, you know, that just really let me know that I was on the right track. So that was kind of how the company was started. That was how the book was built. That was how I really started to help C-suite executives learn to use their wardrobe as a business strategy. And that's what I do. I help you think about the way that you're getting dressed in a completely different way.
Well, we're about to dive into that because that is the meat of our conversation today. You know, using your wardrobe as a business strategy, which was going to be my next question. But before I ask you that,
Yes.
family, we're going to give her a shout out. Her Roku is live. So let me grab my remote real quick and let's go on Roku, family. Go on Roku right now and look for Toi Sweeney. If you're listening to the podcast, Toi Sweeney, Sweeney. Toi Sweeney is where you want to go. And family, I'm telling you, literally, go to Toi, right? Toi Sweeney right now on Roku. Download the application. Amazing stuff, family. And you will not regret it. And of course, don't forget your boy. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But yeah, Toi, congratulations on this Roku TV application. And it's also on Amazon Fire TV for the folks that didn't know that. It's also there. So you can go ahead and download it and have fun. Watch the amazing interviews that she's had on there. It's just phenomenal, Toi. Phenomenal. So congratulations. So now, should we really care about what we wear, Toi?
Yes.
I mean, is that a thing? I mean, come on. We're in the professional space. Why can't we just dress the way we want to dress? You tell me.
Well, you can, because when you're using your wardrobe as a business strategy, it's not necessarily about being fancy or being dressed up. It's about you leaning 100% and unapologetically into who you are. Like, it would be weird if you were on your show. I've never seen you on your show wearing a suit, and so that wouldn't lean into, I believe, to who you are. That doesn't seem to fit your personality. For this instance, I've seen you in various pictures do your spin on a suit, you know, which is fabulous. But that, for you to show up in a three-piece suit and a briefcase, like, that doesn't feel right. And so
Right.
it's really about you showing up unapologetically as who you are. And especially if you're in a, you know, it's like you have to be able to speak to your audience, but you also have to be able to be yourself. And so I really specialize in helping you to fit in and stand out simultaneously. And that's hard to do, right? Because you want to be known for the right reasons, and my right reasons may be somebody else's wrong, wrong reasons.
Right.
When I look at people like Lizzo, that's can be controversial to some people. She's a revolution. There are, so she stands out. Some people think the wrong ways, some people think the right ways, but I love the things that she's doing. It doesn't mean that I'm going to make those same choices, but I love those choices for her. Because that's in line with her brand and how she chooses to see, and she dresses the way that she wants to be addressed, good, bad, or indifferent. And so that's the way that it is. And so it really is an opportunity for us to control the narrative and to stand in the power of our brand. That's what it's about. And be okay with that. And so, I love, like, her. I love people who do things like her. You think about Michael Jackson at his time, in the height of his career, Madonna, like, all of those people, they were really standing and and when we think about Michael Jackson, he's a really good example, because there are things about him that were iconic. We think about the jacket, we think about the gloves, we think about the socks, and so even when you think about your favorite movie, when we all watched Wakanda, Black Panther for the first time, we still remember the colors, we still remember we were taken with the costumes, all of these things. I think that growing up, I must have watched Grease 22 times, like, every year. And so, it's not odd to us to see someone dressed like Sandra Dee, That's, or,
Right,
you know,
right.
all of these things, because think about that. Icons make us feel safe. You know, when we have stop signs and things like that, all these different like kind of signage in the world, they tell you what direction to go. Your wardrobe does the same thing. And so that's the outward appearance. What gets me excited is what happens on the inside, because so many people focus on the outside. I focus primarily on both, but the inside is what gets me excited, because psychologically it can incite something in you that's extremely powerful.
Whoo, stop
And
right
so
there. Stop right there because, yo, listen, family, she's saying a lot of stuff. And we're about to get there on what happens on the inside, because that is crucial. What you're saying is so important. It's so important. As a branding expert, this is something that takes my heart, because a lot of times what happens is we are used to getting dressed, right? We're saying, well, okay, I'm doing my personal branding. I'm working on my brand. I'm shifting, right? And so
right.
I'm gonna get those wardrobes and all of that, and I'm gonna get a photographer, right? That's what we usually say. I'm gonna get a photographer and all of that, and then I'm gonna look a certain way for my photos. But in my everyday life, I don't think that it needs to continue. But we don't think about the fact that we're trying to tell a story, that our everyday life is actually more important than just having pictures up. Because in our everyday life, we meet people, we make connections, we send a message, and you never know who you're going to meet, when, how, where, and how your look, your colors, the way you present yourself will impact somebody. Especially, I'm passionate about this, family, especially when you say you're building a brand. What type of disconnect can you have when somebody Googles you? Because that's the thing, right? People will Google you today. So they will Google you before they get in the room or on a Zoom call with you or anything like that, right? Before they try to connect with you, because today that's what we do a lot. Virtually, we meet via Zoom or platforms like that. And then you'll have a complete presentation from the expectation of the person. Now, Toi, tell my people, how can that impact your business? Because we're talking about how to leverage that as a strategy to grow your business. So how can you not showing like what you put out there, how can that impact your business negatively? Share with that.
So there's a study that I talk about in the book that it was a food study, but it's very relevant to thinking about the image portion of something, right? So there was this study that was done, and I go through the university and the professor that did it, but just to dive into it. So there was this study that was done with chocolate cake. So they have this chocolate cake, right? And they serve this cake to a group of people on a napkin, right? It's like, here's a napkin, here's this cake. And they're like, what did you think about the cake? And the people were like, it was good. So then they let that group go. The next group comes in, they serve the same cake on a paper plate. And they say, well, what did you think about the cake? And they were like, it was pretty good. And they go, okay. The third group of people come in and they serve the same chocolate cake, which I know that this sounds silly, but hang with me, people. They serve the same chocolate cake on Wedgwood china. And for those of you who don't know, that's very expensive china. And they were like, what do you think of the cake? And people were saying it was very, very, very good. And they were willing to pay 3 times more. 3 times more for the cake, for the same cake. And so what that tells me is that if that impacts people just with a piece of cake, imagine with you and your whole gorgeous self, and you dressing the way that you want to be addressed. When you standing in the power of your brand, what does that mean for your business? And again, it's not about being fancy. It's about how you're choosing to represent yourself, right? Because any of you who know Gary Vaynerchuk, he doesn't wear, he wears sneakers and, Jay-Z sneakers, tops, jeans, whatever. it's not about being fancy, but it's about you leaning into who you really are, using your personality to its full advantage and making sure that your mission, your vision, your image, all of that is present when you step into the room, when you step out on stage, when you go onto a live, all of those things. It's everything together that's making up that complete personal brand and the image perspective of your brand as well.
Fantastic. Now let's dive into internally what happens, because you tried to say earlier, I stopped you, because psychologically something happens. So let's dive into that.
So psychologically, what they've learned is we think with our minds and with our bodies. And so there's a study that we talk about in the book that they took a group of people and they gave them a white like lab coat, right? And they're like, hey, basically, you're a doctor, and what they want to measure was what happens. Like, do you like how many more mistakes would they make? Are they able to focus? Are they going to be more productive? Are they going to be more creative? Like, how does this happen? And so, number one, when we dress more formally than our peers, we are like 25% more productive and creative. But with this specific test, they were just trying to test like how many mistakes are they making, right? So this was group one, and they were like, they're doctors, so they noticed that they made very little mistakes because that's what they told themselves. They gave group two the same lab coat, but they told them that they were artists, so they noticed that they were making a little bit more mistakes. And then on the third group, they were like, just look at the lab coat, we don't even want you to we don't even want you to do anything at it, but just look at it and let them kind of figure it out. So each group made less mistakes than the people who thought that they were artists. And so I thought that that was very interesting. But what they learned is that it's, yes, it's the clothing, but it's the meaning that you're giving the clothing. So, I have a client that when he does his podcast, he will have on a graphic tee and jeans, but he puts his dress shoes on under the table, because that sends a message to his brain that he's doing something that's very serious. Sometimes when you put on a blazer, or even if you're wearing jeans or a skirt or whatever, it's something about that, because you're telling yourself that you need to stand a little taller, that you need to be a little bit more professional. So those are the type of things that happen. The newest study that came out, and this is not in the book, that came out right at the beginning of last year, is that when you dress down, when you wear sweats, let's say, when you're just getting up and taking a shower and putting sweats on, that's the day that you kind of get through your to-do list, right? That you are able to really, what it does is it triggers you that you're getting things done that day. So think about it as your checklist, for those of you who like checklists like me. But when you want to focus on your long-term goals, then that's the day that you want to dress up. So like, think about New Year's. For those of you who do vision boards and things like that, that's the day that you probably want to dress a little bit more formally, whatever that means to you, because that sends a message to your brain that you're working on something that's long-term, which I just think is incredible. And nobody really talks about that and how that impacts your brand.
Wow. Whoo. Are you still listening? Are you still watching? I see about a little over 500 of you guys live right now. Guys, you gotta go get her book. I mean, she has way more in her book, and she has way more she's about to dive on us at the conference. ContentCreatorsUniversity.com/conference is the place to go. Yo, let's go ahead and take a quick break. And when we come back, I want us to dive into, if we're not there, what are the immediate steps we should take? Or how should we navigate it? Should we just, go see a brand designer right now? Or is there anything we can do right now on the immediate side that can help elevate, lift up the, the brand image that we have right now? And what do you recommend, right? We want to talk about that a little bit, because I know you have a lot to drop on us, and I'm excited. So stay with us. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right after this. Well, technology doesn't want to allow me to play the break.
Hi, Hi, I'm Lenita Holston, owner of Excellence Brainery, and my personal motto is excellence in everything, every time. And when I tell you, JP and his team embody excellence. Everything from the customer experience to the beginning of the proposal submission to starting the project, detailing me about updates on the project, turning over the project. I guess the part that I love was not only were every element of my production for my live stream was it upgraded, it was actually explained to me. So I received a tutorial on how to implement and the importance of what I was implementing. So I got the product and I got knowledge around the product. It's the knowledge transfer for me. Teach me how to fish. I feel like JP and his team did that exceptionally well. I'm exceptionally pleased. And my expectation for those that I work with going forward in digital media, marketing, production elements, my expectation has been raised. The bar has been raised. And if my motto is excellence in everything, every time, the standard has been raised pretty high. So thank you, JP and your team for just doing what you do exceptionally well. And those kinds of persons are so hard to find. So if you're considering working with JP, I wouldn't even use the word consideration. Go ahead and get your coins together so that you can be excellent in everything, every time.
All right, welcome back to the Content Creators University family. We've been here with our guest, Toi Sweeney. And Toi, she's an expert with brand imagery. And she's been teaching us the importance of leveraging your wardrobe for as a business strategy, right? To help grow your business. And boy, oh boy, we've been learning a whole lot of stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring her back onto the stage right here. Hey, Toys, thank you so much. We truly appreciate all the knowledge you've been dropping on us. I mean, wow, who would have thought, right? Who would have thought that color selection and wardrobe could be so important when it comes to your personal brand imagery. And hey, we appreciate all the wisdom. So we're about to dive into the second and last part of the interview, and this has to do with next steps, right? Because we always love actionable steps. What exactly or specifically can we do to start making the transformation in our lives, in our imagery, our brand right now, for the folks that are like, okay, can you help me right now? I'm not sure. What will be your advice or next steps for them?
I think that the first question that you have to ask yourself is, what do I want to say? When you are working with your clients, when you're creating content, if you're going live, like all of these different things, what is it that you want them to think and feel? And then if you don't already have your brand colors, make sure that your brand colors align with that. My brand colors are red, black, and white. Red is the color of ambition. It's the color of determination. As we talked about earlier, that fits my personality really well. Black is the color of elegance and authority. And white or ivory is the color of new beginnings, and hope. And so that's, try something new. Think about Nike, not Nike, but think about Apple, excuse me, when, that sea of black headphones, right? And they came in with all of these, that sleek white box and the, all the white packaging, and their motto was think different. So you want to do the same thing and go, what do I want people to think when they're interacting with my brand? And so you want to choose your brand colors according to that, because visually, remember, what's going to happen is that it's sending a message that they can trust you, that they should do business with you, and things like that. So I would say, as long as you can answer, that would be like the biggest takeaway, is understanding what you want to say and who you're serving, and then make sure that your colors make sense for what you're doing, because it's going to be everywhere. And you only have about 8 seconds in this distracted society to grab somebody's attention and have them trust you and want to do business with you.
Did you hear that? 8 seconds, family. Whoo! That's nothing.
No.
I mean, we're so busy today. Social media everywhere. We want everything fast now. And all you have for somebody to actually stop and wonder, who is this person? And want to click to learn more about you, you only have 8 seconds. That's how serious this is. That's how you need to understand that, hey, the same way that, we want to get dressed a certain way to go get, to go to a job interview because we want the perception to be something. The same mentality. Toi is telling us that we need to bring that into our personal brand imagery. We need to understand that we need to show up the same way. And that sends a message to people that currently know you, because we understand that branding, we've learned branding that you can shift anytime. So you can change, the story and decide, okay, this is the story I want to tell moving forward, right? You can pivot anytime. But future potential prospects, right? Clients, people that may book you, that are just discovering you today. Think about that for a second. What can that do for you? Now, Toi.
Yeah.
I know you don't work with individuals. So tell us, how can we connect with you? Please share that with us.
Well, I do work with individuals. My
Go.
focus is primarily on founders and C-suite executives. Like, I work with entrepreneurs, and then I work with directors and above in an organization. And so I found that that is kind of a good sweet spot for the well-dressed brand, where you understand it, you can afford it, and it's a need. And so, but you can reach out to me on toysweeney.com. I am Toys, Toi, everywhere on Instagram, Twitter, everywhere, Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm Toi Sweeney everywhere. So I'm pretty easy to find.
Toi Sweeney everywhere, family. Go ahead and follow Toi. She's amazing. Hey, especially LinkedIn is a place where I want to, encourage you to connect with her on, because, hey, that's where movers and shakers are. And she's a mover and shaker. Now, Toi, I'm not going to let you go without you telling them what can they expect at the conference, because you're a keynote in there.
Well, there's going to be a lot of talk about, really diving into how do you really live your brand? Like, how do you show up every day and really get these strategies? Like, how do you set up your closet? What does each of these colors mean? How do you get up every day and really start to live out these principles, really leveling up your perceived value so that you can get that money, get that bag, get it, whatever you want to call it, so you can get it. Really projecting you, and getting you to a place where you can just show up and shut it down, all the way down, where there's no question. That's it.
Man, that's fire, because Jeff Bezos said that, your brain is what people say about you when you're not in the room. And that has everything to do with the, perception that people have of you, and you can change it. We have the power to change the perception. That's what Toi is saying in a nutshell. And how do we do that the right way? Because, if you pick the wrong things and your, brand message is completely about something else, then you will miss the mark and you will not attract the right people to spend money with your product and services and your company. So, Toi, thank you so much. We really, really, really appreciate you. Now, my phone is telling me that it's time to let you go. We appreciate you so much. Looking forward to learning more, from your expertise and background during the conference. And I want you to stay backstage as I go ahead and close here, and I'll be right back with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, everybody, this is it. We've gotten to the end of the show. Remember, connect with her, toysweeney.com, toysweeney.com, TOISWEENEY.com. If you're listening to the podcast, very, very important. And don't forget to show up. This conference is about to be fire, right? And this is what we do every week. Tomorrow, we have another episode here with another amazing guest. So I want to encourage you to come, and so that we can learn from the guests. And that's what we do every single week here. If you appreciate what we're talking about, go ahead and subscribe to this channel right here on YouTube. If you're listening, jump on YouTube and look for JP Hightek Reviews. Come on and let's grow together, because this is a big deal for us creators, and especially if you're using technology in this world that we're living in today. You want to grow, and you want to know what's happening with the latest technology, and how can that help you level up your business. So that's it for today. I appreciate you joining us, and we'll see you again next time for another video tomorrow. Show up. Be safe, like I would say. Shalom. Bye-bye, family. Content Creators University presents Creators Unleashed Act 2. A 2-day power-packed free virtual conference to teach you all the secrets to growing your business with content creation. This is for coaches, teachers, students, leaders, entrepreneurs, videographers, graphic designers, YouTubers, podcasters, beauty professionals, bloggers, social media strategists, artists, music composers, authors. Anybody that uses technology today needs to show up to this event. This is taking place November 17th and 18th from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Grab your free ticket today by going to contentcreatorsuniversity.com/conference. Seats are filling up fast. It's first come, first served with 10 power-packed speakers. JP Hightek, Tanya Smith, Kirk Nugent, Toi Sweeney, Monty Weaver, Carissa Jennings, Troy Sendage, Pierre Quinn, Jeff Barch, Jermaine Freeman. Creators Unleashed Act 2 in partnership with our official sponsor, Ecamm Live. You do not want to miss this. This will be fire.